Welcome back, members of the Detroit Chess Book Club. I'm Derek, and here's another game from what I believe to be a change in my playing style, given that I've recently finished the book Learning with Tal, and we all know Tal was a fantastic attacking player. Now, I'm not a Tal, but having studied that book, I am looking for attacking possibilities more and more in my game. I've always been a strictly positional player. You give me two tempos, weak pawn structure, and I'll play all day. And usually it takes all day. So let's go over this game real quick. It's nowhere near a perfect game, but the idea is to motivate and encourage people to pursue the knowledge that's contained in chess books. So here we go. Spanish game. I'm not going to go over each and every move. If you're watching this video, I'm assuming that you're already knowledgeable about basic openings. I always run into trouble when I allow this bishop to pin my knight, so I don't know if this is in proper order, but I try never to let that bishop get that pin. Right now we're still playing through the main line of the Spanish. Here I made a decision to close the position and play on the king side and try to attack black's king. My main reasoning for making that decision is, again, if you're going to study attacks, you might as well attack. And the opportunity appears to be there where I can actually close the position without much difficulty. I think that's the key move that allows me to close the position. If he pushes up to b4, I'm going to respond c4. If he pushes up c4, I'm going to respond b4 and prevent that knight from taking that post at c4. And it appears that he agrees that the queen side is locked up, so he's going to try to play on the king side as well. I thought that he was looking at playing the knight back and pushing up at c5. I'm swinging my knight over, freeing up my bishops. Again, I believe that I can attack because both bishops are pointed in that direction. I have a rook lift here, and I have the queen coming in, and the knight is already over there. Now, exactly how the pieces are going to be positioned, once you come up with the idea that you're going to attack, then you make a plan. Now, this is what I didn't expect. We're at the 16th move, and if you don't know, I'm playing against the computer. The computer usually doesn't make mistakes this early in a game, and definitely not this significant. The computer is set at a 2000 level, which is expert, so I take the wins as I can get them. It's very difficult to beat the computer in the first place. So I just won a pawn because, as I mentioned earlier, the computer went to h5 thinking f5, pawn f5, but it laid for a basic combination to win a pawn. And of course, after the game, I had the computer analyze the game. At this point, it has white being ahead by 1.4 pawns, which is pretty significant this early in the game. And now, before I went through the book, I would have said, okay, I'm a pawn up. Let me position my pieces nicely, which means rook at d1, the bishop at b2, the knight swinging around back to f3, both rooks holding back, trying to advance that passed pawn. The queen will find an appropriate safe square. But since I'm reading a book on attack, what I decided was this pawn appears to be a target to go after the king with. So my positioning now is knight to f5, before it would have been f3. Bishop sacrificing on h6, supported by the queen, supported by a rook lift, and supported also by this bishop, preventing possible free moves at f5. So that's my plan, is to sacrifice on f6 right now. Looks like he plans to leave the bishop near the king to take the place of the knight to defend the castle. Right now I don't think that's going to be enough if I get my positioning. The knight is where I want it at, the bishop is where I want it, the queen is where I want it. All three pieces are focused on h6. I think also in initiating this attack, this was actually an important move because it prevents the pawn from opening up and allowing additional pieces to defend the king. This bishop is actually here. And the computer analysis, the question I was posed with was, do I take with the bishop or do I take with the knight? I felt that if I take with the knight, he's absolutely is forced to take with the pawn. If he moves the king on to h-file, that discovered check should be devastating. And this is important too. It cuts off the queen from being able to help in the defense. This pawn is important. It cuts off the rook and the queen from help in the defense. And this bishop is important because she prevents the pawn from moving up to allow other pieces to help. Do I take with the bishop or the knight? I didn't see a clear-cut combination, but I did feel that taking with the knight forces the pawn to take. Taking with the bishop forces the rook to move. If the bishop tries to defend, then that would be checkmate with the pin on the bishop. So I felt taking with the knight first will allow me to maintain the initiative and move forward from there. I really didn't see the clear-cut combination at this point, even though, according to the computer, after knight takes h6, white is 12 pawns ahead. So there must be a clear-cut combination leading to a win. I didn't see it. And before I started trying to bring an attacking attitude into my game, if I didn't see all the way to the end of the combination, I would not sacrifice anything, because I didn't see the essence and the end and the fruit of the combination. Again, if he blocks with the bishop, queen to g5, it's going to be mate. So he tries to give himself some breathing space. with rook e1, e8, I'm sorry. That's a move that I really didn't see till when he moved rook to e8 with rook to e3 followed by rook to g3. I don't think that's defendable, and it's not. The computer analysis has white ahead by 17 pawns after rook to g3. He's trying to bring his knight over to help with the defense. He's not going to be able to make it. Now the attack is so strong that he has to start giving material back. What I really had to focus on is, would he be able to run away from here? Well, I don't have to worry about it. White is a bishop and 3 pawns ahead in material, but I would love to just simply end the game. If he tries to run in that direction, rook takes pawn, double check, he has to move back, queen check, he has to move into a corner, checkmate. So running to f8 will not work. Goes to h8, which I really want to end this game with a brilliant mating net. It's at this point that the computer actually resigned because mate was going to occur. Rook to g8 check. Rook takes rook. Bishop f8 checkmate. Rook g8, king takes, queen to g5 check, king moves back, mate. So okay, that's another game that I think shows to me anyway that my playing style has changed and I could possibly win a few more games applying an attacking attitude to some positions. Not all, but some. And by the way, I've lost a lot more games to the computer than I've won. But I think they're getting tougher and tougher for the computer to beat me at this level. Also, we're playing at time control, a 10-minute time control with a 10-second delay. Okay, I have one more game, and then we will see how many more wins I can accumulate with this attitude. Okay, bye for now.